Lesson 125. The one thing. If there is one thing that you want in life, the one thing that will solve all your problems and make you complete, what will that be? Here on earth, there is full of worries and troubles. You do not know exactly the meaning of this life and the direction you are going. There are always ups and downs that you cannot comprehend, and you may wonder why they always happen to you. Sometimes you might think your problems are bigger to solve than anyone else until you meet someone who has worse than you have. But is there one thing that can answer all your worries and problems? Is there one thing once you get it, you won't need anything else? King David said this in Psalms 27:4. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek Him in His temple. Being in the world does not mean you should follow the ways of the world. There are many things that can trouble you and confuse you in life, feeling that you are left behind. King David was just a normal shepherd tending his father's sheep, but in his situation, he always praises and trusted God in all he does. And God continued to give him victories, defeating the lion and the bear in the wilderness. God's purpose in your life is to give you a proper direction in the way that you should live. When you go after the things of the world, most of the time it blocks you to seek the things of God. We don't get what we want, which leads to desperation, and in the end, we tend to satisfy our flesh and leave our spirit weak. You go through it the wrong way, starting from the flesh, and expect to end up with the spirit. In Galatians 3:3, the Apostle Paul says, "Are you so foolish? Having begun by the Spirit, are you now being perfected by the flesh? Your new life began when the Holy Spirit gave you a new birth. Why then would you so foolishly turn from living in the Spirit by trying to finish by your own works?" We would never live the life to its fullest apart from God. It must be from the inside out. You give your life to God and put your trust in Him, and through Him He takes care of you. Do not let the worries and troubles of this world move you. Whatever we lack, we can reach out to Him and ask Him to provide for us. Sometimes it can be impatience or disbelief that causes us to lose our focus on Jesus. If you take your time long enough and keep holding on, in due time, He will give you the breakthrough you need. Jesus says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." You do not need someone, or your career, or your talents to make you happy. Your happiness and peace start from within. When you have your heart carrying the knowledge and God's instructions, you allow Him to work all things for your good. You must make a determined commitment to always follow Him no matter what. You must be willing to put to death the desires of the flesh so that the works of God will be revealed through you. When you gain His favor and see His goodness, you have all you need. God will come through for you if you live your life faithfully. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked, for whatever a man sows will reap. He doesn't show favoritism, and He will never turn a blind eye to His children. He asks His people, which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you, then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask Him? Matthew 7:9-11. Everything that you need is right where you are. You do not have to be great so that you can do extraordinary things. God gives favor to the humble, but God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. 1 Corinthians 1:27. Let nobody look down on you. You are wonderfully made and highly favored by God, your Creator. Every day you must decide to choose God. Remember what He says about His word on the situation you are in, and God will remember you. He says, "Apart from me, you can do nothing."